There's an awful scene right at the end, and thank God it dropped into my memory that this happened before we got to the end, and I threw myself at the remote control like it was a hand grenade so that my children didn't have to see this. My next brilliant thing is 1990s Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Very specifically. It's not, you can't go out the decade. You can't go into the, you can't go 80s and you can't go naughty.
So this is like Bill and Ted.
My interests were beginning to be piqued with Bill and Ted, but then in 1988 I was only 4. So, I was aware of it, but I would have watched it then when I was a little bit older. I'm talking peak. There's a bomb on the bus. Point Break.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, honestly, on the train on the way down actually, because I've been thinking about this and I was like, oh my God, I love these films. And I'd started watching a bit of Speed again, and Speed is one of the only films, and I know with streaming services obviously you can just turn it on and do, pause it, whatever. If Speed is on the actual telly and I've happened to flick on and I go I will sit down, I will stop what I am doing, and I will sit and I will watch and just appreciate.
I love that.
The pure beauty.
There's such a lovely irony that there's a film called Speed that makes you sit still.
Sit still?
Do you know what I mean?
Well, when I was thinking about this as well, and I was like, I can't just say one of my brilliant things is just Speed, because then you'll just think I'm like some druggie. So, but I mean, I have to say, Speed specifically for me is peak Keanu.
Keanu was nearly not going to be called Keanu. So that's his real name, Keanu Reeves. But his agent wanted him to use a stage name because he thought Keanu Reeves was a bad name for a star.
Oh, really? What was he going to go
The
for?
stage name was Chuck Spadina.
No! Oh, no. I tell you what, Chuck wouldn't be on one of my brilliant things right now.
Chuck
That's
Spadina.
possibly what Chuck Spadina.
That was nearly
It
Keanu
sounds like a
Reeves' name.
porno name.
Isn't that great?
Chuck Spadina. But
Spadina.
it sounds like kind of like the meat you'd get in a sandwich. Do you know what I mean? Let me get one of those Chuck Spadinas. Huh? It's a good Chuck Spadina. It's got that kind of fucking... Yeah.
Yeah, all the animals in it, wouldn't it?
Chuck Spadina.
Yeah, Chuck Spadina.
I thought you were going to mention, wasn't he in the running to be the Terminator? There was something like there's an odd film with Keanu Reeves where you're like, whoa.
It was his sliding doors moment.
No, it
that he
wasn't.
Could have been.
I've got that wrong. It was O.J. Simpson. That's right. It was.
OJ was going to be that.
O.J. was going to be the
Terminator.
Terminator. But yeah,
The beautiful irony.
Johnny Depp is responsible for Keanu Reeves' fame because he passed on Speed and The Matrix.
Wowzers.
So he was choice number 1 for both the films.
It would not. He couldn't have been like, yeah, but I'm taller.
Yeah.
It needs to be Keanu for that. It has to be.
Keanu Reeves' great gift is that he's managed to pick films where you don't need to be able to act.
You can just be Keanu Reeves in every film.
Because whenever he has to step out of that, it probably wouldn't work. That being said, The Devil's Advocate is a great film.
It is a brilliant film.
Yeah.
That's also on one of my on my list. But yeah, for me, Speed, Point Break. Also, again, Parenthood. Do you remember the film Parenthood?
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He was brilliant. Todd. Yeah, he was brilliant in that. So I mean, he is always kind of that slightly dippy.
It's a great film, Parenthood.
Parenthood is a brilliant film.
Yeah,
brilliant.
It's kind of that perfect sort of family comedy, and yet it also has deep funnies in it. Mm-hmm. And Steve Martin is fantastic in it.
Do you have you ever gone back and watched films that you watched when you were younger and thought were just brilliant films, and you've gone and rewatched them with adult eyes and gone, oh no? Because even if you're saying that to me now, there's a scene that I am picturing in my head where they've been at a fun fair for the day. They're driving back, and the little boy realizes he's lost his retainer. But I think that the wife is giving Steve Martin a blowjob in the front seat this is happening.
Yeah.
But I remember watching this film with my parents and us all being like, whoa!
And your dad's like,
yeah. And I'm sure there's another bit as well where there's someone they get a diaphragm. There's other things. I've made a few mistakes actually of watching not kids films, but films that I watched as a kid in the 90s with my children.
It's funny, isn't it? But also, Teen Wolf is a really good example of where you just go, whoa, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But there's the bit where Michael J. Fox says to Styles, man, I'm going through some changes. And Styles goes, whoa, Scotty, you're not a faggot, are you? And he goes, no, I'm a wolf. And they're like, oh, phew. Like that.
Phew.
And that's it. So it's the idea of kind of go, you're not gay. No, I'm not gay. Well, thank God for that. Oh, I'm a werewolf. Well, that's absolutely fine.
That's completely sensible.
Come on. I'll get my van and you can dance on the roof. But it's so interesting that's an 80s family-friendly film,
Yeah.
and yet has a very cheap throwaway kind of line where it's like, you better not
But
be
you
gay.
better not be. You
Fascinating.
watch it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so to throw into the mix with that one, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, again, a film that I grew up with thinking it was hilarious. Not aged well. And we watched this with the kids. And
really?
within the first 5 minutes, he's getting a blowjob off somebody who he saved a dog. And he's like, it's like a proper, he's holding onto a door frame, all righty then. And then my son was like, Mummy, what's that lady doing to that man? And I panicked. And because you can't see, obviously, what he's doing, you can just, what she's doing, sorry, but you can just see like a bobbing about of the head, and he's holding on, and he's like this. And I was like, oh, she's shining his shoes. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. And then he's obviously having a lovely time. And then he went, well, I can't wait to get my shoe shined. It looks great. I was like, oh my God. And then, okay, so that wasn't even the worst bit. So I was like, maybe that was it. Maybe that's it. But as we're sitting there watching it, it's all kind of beginning to drop into my memory because I hadn't seen it for years. And the female character within Ace Ventura, I don't know if you remember this. So she's the police officer who is trying to find, she's on the task force for trying to find the dolphin.
Yeah.
So the dolphin, is it the dolphin? Is that a 1 or 2? I can't remember. There's been a murder. Anyway, something's happened, but she's the main police officer. And it turns out that she is a he. And she's been.
I do remember
you
that.
remember?
And then he cleans himself in the shower.
Yeah, so he realizes, and he's like, "Oh, is that just a gun in your pocket? Are you happy to see me?" But there is an awful scene right at the end, and thank God it dropped into my memory that this happened before we got to the end, and I threw myself at the remote control like it was a hand grenade, so my children didn't have to see this. But he basically he declothes her and exposes her for being a man, and because she's in the police force, and there's this whole all the armed police are surrounding her, and then the entirety of the police department have all supposedly insinuated that they've had, relations with her. They all start vomiting everywhere because they realise that she is a man. The penis is also taped up in between her legs and sticking out of the back. You can see everything. Yeah. And that was a family film that we sat down and watched in the 90s. And it is just so, like, watching it now, it is horrific.
Yeah,
it's so transphobic.
But that's the bizarre thing about it, that you just go, wow, bloody hell, like within a stone's throw.
Yeah.
You kind of go, yeah, it's extraordinary how things have changed.
Yeah.
Keanu,
Yes.
the third hottest man of the 90s.
Okay, so that would be behind Pitt and Clooney.
Who was 1 and 2?
Clooney doesn't make the list.
Oh.
Okay. Depp.
Johnny Depp's number 2.
Okay, number 1 would be
Is River Phoenix up there?
River Phoenix.
When did he die?
Isn't on the list.
Oh, he was.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel's not on the list.
Oh my God.
David Charvet.
Wow, no.
Will Smith.
Will Smith is number 4.
Oh.
I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
One of these hamsters don't like it.
Oh, Richard Gere.
Yes.
Yeah, Gere. Yeah. Well, we don't know that hamsters don't like him.
Well, hamsters might love it.
They might adore it.
It might actually have been the hamster's fault. and it might be that it's just Gere was sat there with his great big sexy baggy anus.
Don't hamster shame. Wasn't the hamster's fault?
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Number 1's Leo.
Oh,
of course.
Yeah.